of the week, that besides for the davening that we do, we also have to do Kriyas HaTorah. We read the Torah. We know it's Monday, Thursday, Shabbos Mincha, right? And the Gemara says who established it. Either some parts were Moshe Rabbeinu, some parts were Ezra. It's based on a pasuk. The pasuk says that the Yidden shouldn't go. We learn from a pasuk that you don't go past 3 days without studying Torah. So you can see it's systematically set up: Monday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Thursday, Shabbos, and Shabbos Mincha is a special reason why we read the Torah, and that's because the Yoshevei Kronis, take a last Shabbos. It's a long, long Shabbos. How long can you go for a walk? How long can you sleep? So for those who are wasting time and don't, so Chazal established another time to read the Torah, that they should occupy the time with positive things, with Torah learning. That's really the rules of Kriyas HaTorah. But I don't think you ever stopped to think about this question. Rabbi Yosef Ber Soloveitchik, who is called the Rav, the Yeshiva University, So Rabbi Yosef Ber Soloveitchik was asked a question. Most of the times when you read the Torah, you're reading the Torah towards the middle or the end of davening. And that's how it is. You daven first, and towards the middle or end of davening, there's an additional part for those days where you read the Torah. Shabbos Mincha, you read the Torah in the beginning. Why don't you daven first and then read the Torah? Why is it different Shabbos Mincha?
Fast days too.
Huh?
Fast days.
Oh, he stopped the rabbi. In fact, there's 3 times. There's Shabbos Mincha, Fast Day, and Yom Kippur Mincha.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 times. In other words, so the question is why a regular Shabbos, why a regular Kriyas Torah is made towards is read towards the end of davening, and Mincha is before davening. So it was a very good question that he was asked, and let me give you 2 answers that he said. The Rambam, first of all, he points out a very fascinating thing. He says that when you read the Rambam, the laws of Kriyas HaTorah is not in a section for itself. The laws of Kriyas HaTorah is incorporated in the laws of Tefillah. When the Rambam talks about all the halachas of davening, in one of the chapters over there, he talks about in Hilchos Tefillah, chapter Yud Beis, he talks about the halachas of Kriyas HaTorah. So from that, the first thing he establishes, it seems to be that it's a little controversial what he's going to say. I'll tell you why. It seems to be that Kriyas HaTorah has specific connection to davening. In other words, what he's basically saying, Kriyas HaTorah is not a freestanding mitzvah. Somehow it's tied down to davening. And he brings a raya from Nesias Kapayim. Kohanim that duchen, Kohanim that do Birchas Kohanim. Birchas Kohanim is a very big mitzvah. But Birchas Kohanim is only said when you daven. If there's no davening, there's no Birchas Kohanim. Sort of the same way, Kriyas HaTorah. Now, you know where it's difficult, because a lot of times people make a minyan just to hear Kriyas HaTorah. If his halachic analogy at the end is correct, you can't, especially if you're doing it. If it was controversial for Parsha Zohar, people come and they want just to have reading a Torah on itself. He makes a very big issue. He says it's all the Sarah is not Parsha Zohar is not Torah. But all these things, he says it goes as part of davening. When you have to do Torah, when there was established a Kriyas Torah, it became part of the davening, just like Nesias Kapayim is part of davening. When you don't do. But that's davening. It's part of davening. He's gonna establish a beautiful thought based on that. So it comes out that the whole point of the Kriyas Torah is supposed to be a little extension to the davening. By the way, the Rebbe has also in his letters. There's a question. Somebody asked the Rebbe in Chodesh Elul if you didn't hear the shofar, should you hear the shofar any time of the day? A very funny response. The Rebbe says if you didn't hear the shofar Shachris, hear it by Mincha. The Rebbe seems to connect the shofar as a connection to davening. It should be connected to our davening too. There's a letter from the Rebbe like that. It's a chelik from Tefillah. So now that we know that Kriyas Torah is chelik from Tefillah, Listen to this beautiful thought. He says like this. Okay, I got to daven. I have to daven Shachris, and I got to daven Mincha. When I'm davening Shachris, there's a halacha that says, Ein oimdim l'spalo, you can't daven straight with your pajamas, right? You have to have a mindset when you daven. How's the proper mindset? The halacha says, Ein oimdim l'spalo al mitoich kavod rosh. You learn something simple, not complicated. It causes a connection. It causes a happiness. And then once you build up that connection to Hashem, you could daven. So here's the question. You see the difference between Shachris and Mincha? By Shachris, when I'm about to daven, what's davening? Davening is Shemona Esrei. By the time I reach Shemona Esrei, I already built up my connection. I did Krishma. I said Shema. I said Psukei Torah. So by the time Shemona Esrei comes, I'm ready and waiting. I'm ready. I'm prepared for Shemona Esrei. It comes to Mincha time. I don't get it. You're going right into, by Mincha, there's no massive preparation. You say Ashrei Yavolatino, zoom. I'm right there. See another sound effect. So to give you that the better preparation for Shemona Esrei, we do the Kriyas HaTorah before. So the Torah should give you those psukim. That's why we say all these psukim like Shema and before Shemona Esrei and Shachris as a lead up to Shemona Esrei. We don't have that in Mincha. That's why we do Kriyas HaTorah before. And his point, but the point he's trying to make, it's a combination. Tefillah is the ikar, and we want the tefillah to be a better tefillah. So you also do Kriyas HaTorah. So in the morning, the Kriyas HaTorah is for the reasons said. But in the afternoon, we need the Kriyas HaTorah to be before Mincha, so the davening should be a better davening. You understand what I'm saying?
Not really.
What don't you understand?
If you're gonna say that the Kriyas HaTorah makes your davening better,
Yeah.
why don't you do Kriyas HaTorah first?
Shachris?
By Shachris?
I don't need it. I do other Torah reading. I say Shema. I say so many psukim. We're saying so many things before Shemona Esrei that covers that already. So on top of that, we also have the additional. We want to read the Torah. It doesn't cover the second concern that we want 3 days without Torah learning. But over here, we don't have that to get us ready for Shemona, for Mincha. So we do the Kriyas HaTorah before. That's one answer he gives. And then he gave another answer. He says like this. We mentioned that the Kriyas HaTorah, the Rambam, when he says that halacha of Kriyas HaTorah, for some reason, he mentions the Chachamim were misaken Kriyas HaTorah b'Shachris. Shachris. We also have other times. Somehow, he says, it's understood that the Kriyas HaTorah is connected to a Davar Shebekadusha. Just like every Davar Shebekadusha, like Kaddish and Baruch Hu needs a minyan, the Kriyas HaTorah is a Davar Shebekadusha. So if so, why Mincha, Shabbos, Yom Kippur, and Tainus, you do it later? So he says a reason like this. In Hilchos Shabbos, it says that when it comes Friday afternoon, you don't set a time of learning. When? Ein koivim medrash be mincha l'mayriv. You don't sit down and set a time of learning be mincha l'mayriv. Why? Mishum sheniftar Moshe b'Isha Shah. This is what Ramos says this in Simarei Tzadik Beis. Because Moshe Rabbeinu passed away that time of the day. And the din is when a tzaddik passes away, everything shuts down. So when don't you set a serious time of learning? After mincha, between mincha and Ma'ariv Shabbos. That's why I don't want to read the Torah then. I'll read the Torah before mincha, before the Shemona Esrei. One answer. How does that answer Yom Kippur? How does that answer Tainus Sibur? So he says by a Tainus Sibur, the Kriya comes before davening because the Kriya is supposed to awaken with us the Hisayrus Shuvah. And since the Tefillah is Bakashas Mechila, so it's better to first speak about the Tshuva and then do the Bakashas Mechila. And he says the same thing would be by Yom Kippur, that we do the Tshuva, by Mincha first, we do the Kriyas HaTorah first, because first you do the Tshuva and then the Bakashas Mechila. Short and sweet.
You are definitely right. I feel smarter.